Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Tyler and I will be your woodworker today. Okay, so most of the time, like in resin and woodworking, everybody seems to like stuff flat. So like if you're making a river table, a fractal table like what I've already made, charcuterie boards, you know, whatnot. Everybody seems to like stuff flat. So today we're going to take this piece of live edge walnut right here. This has got a ton of sapwood in it too. This comes from Woody's Hardwood over there in Pleasant Hill, Iowa. He's just down the road from me off of Vandalia. So Paul's a real good dude. But anyways, this will go along with a mill video that I have, you know, coming up in the future. But anyways, this has got a ton of sapwood in it. And if you can see right here, you can kind of see the walnut starting. So we're going to open this thing up, and this thing has got a ton of twist in it. It's twisted really, really bad. So I'm probably going to cut this thing, you know, here, there, somewhere. I'll bring it in. We'll show you everything. We'll put it on that sled, and we're going to get this wood flat. So I already checked the moisture content of this. This wood is about 6% right now. So that's good enough for Iowa. Depending upon where you're at in the nation, your moisture content could vary. I've heard Arizona all the way up to 15%. I've heard coastlines, you know, 12%. I don't know. I don't know the answer to tell you what your wood is supposed to be at for moisture content. Best thing to do is, like, you know, look up online or check with, you know, like a local woodworker that might know the answer for you. So that's kind of what I've always done. I just check with people I know, and they usually have the right answer. Okay, but anyways, I'll quit rambling. We'll get you in here. The part that we're going to do in this video, I'm going to show you how to shim it on the sled. We're going to flatten on the planer, and then we're going to look and see what the wood looks like. So let's try to get those objectives today and see what happens. Okay. Okay, guys. So now, like, if you look down this board right here, you can see kind of like how this side's up, that side's down back there in the back. Do that, it lifts it. So this is the twist in it right there. Okay, see that? Then this is all the walnut wood right there. That's like the heartwood. That's a sapwood. And then I don't think it's got any candium layer on it. No. Okay, and then these are like mill marks from the saw. I've got a sander I'm going to take these out with, just because Paul wanted me to show you that from the mill. So I'll take those out real quick. And then after that, we'll get it all shimmed up, and we will get it ran through that planer right there. So okay. Woo, she's twisted. Okay, so the tail of the tape, like, you know, like in UFC. Okay, this I don't know, she's about 37 and a half, maybe 38 at the longest. Okay, so we'll write that down. 37.5 to 38. All right, now I got my digital caliper right here. The battery's like low in it. Where you at? Beep, beep. Okay. Anyways, I'll measure this. 1.481 on that side. And this side is 1.474. It was like right, and I was like right there-ish, maybe, yeah. Oh, it was back there. That's where it was at, like 1.7 something right there. Okay, or 1.473. Okay. All right, so 1.481, 1.473, so it's not too far off for thickness from side to side. Okay, so I kind of thought about this the other night. I figured this would be a good one for a video, and I kind of saw, like, you know, like how this is sitting right here. And I think I'm going to use this thing on a clock in the future. This might be a clock, and this part's definitely going to be a clock. But for my clock, the kind that I want to do, I'm going to need it about 21 inches, 22 inches, somewhere in there. I'll probably cut 22. And then this other part will fit into a form that I have already. So what I'm going to do, and the way that I determine that is I kind of put some weight on it. And I was like, which way does it sit flatter? And I looked at it down to here. I was like, okay, that way it sits flatter. And if I did this, you know, it was way up in the air on that side over there. So that's just kind of, you know, I looked and which side was bigger that set flatter, and that's, you know, how I kind of determined what I was going to do. So we'll get this cut right here at about 22 inches. Let me mark it. I'm going to use a, not a skill saw, but my, it's a little jigsaw. We'll use a little jigsaw guy. I like him the best. Okay, but there we go. So we're going to make that cut right there at 22-ish. 22-ish. Okay. Hold on. Let me go get some clamps. Hey, I don't know why my phone wasn't recording, but my phone messed up and didn't record. But just imagine this, like going across that wood. So we cut this part off. So just imagine it going. But okay. Okay, let's get this thing flat. Okay, we're recording. All right, so you can see, like, it's definitely still got a little bit of rock to it, but not as much as like when all that was attached to it, like when the whole board was attached to it. So just what I like to do, and maybe this is wrong, but I'm still a beginning woodworker, you know, and this is just what I like to do. I like to, like, you know, shim it and say, you know, that one, hell, look at that. That's almost up to 1/4 inch right there. So what I like to do is I like to split the difference and come in back here. And then, you know, you can kind of do this and then split it so it's not as much, you know. And what you want to do is get the rock out of it. So we got the rock out of it on the table right there. Like, you know, when I say rock, I mean so it doesn't go boop, 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 boop and move around everywhere. So what I'm going to do now is set it up here on the sled, and then we'll hot glue it down to the sled. And all my sled is just a, let me move this out of the way and show you. Let me move this. So all my sled is just a piece of melamine, like, that I use. Hell, you can even still see the tuck tape on it right here. But that was from like a charcuterie board pour that I did a long time ago. And it's just a nice flat piece of wood. And what this is like a reference. So like you can't really put this wood through the planer like on its own, because if you do, it's just going to keep, like, you know, it's just going to stay like this and go through and then do that. You've got to have a flat reference surface to go off of to keep it flat, you know. So like you want something flat like this to go through it, and then that way it kind of holds everything in place and it gives it something flat to reference off of. Don't ask me why it works. I don't know. I'm not like professional woodworker or anything, but that's what I've done and that's what's worked for me. So, okay. So like I said, when we were setting it down earlier, I wanted to kind of split the difference. So we'll put that one there, another one back here. Some guys put it all the way back here, towards the back of the sled like that. I don't. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I've had okay luck doing it this way too. The only thing is you don't want to get sniped right here. But it's just kind of the way I do it. Okay, so now this is a hot glue gun. And what I do is I come over here, you know, hit this section of it, kind of get that glued down. I hit the shim in the wood, and then I try to kind of come off of it and then glue the shim down more. This is just what I do. You guys might have your own way. You might develop your own skills or something like that. I'm just showing you what I do right now. On the back side, the same. I just come over to the other side that's low, and then I go over to the shim that's high back here, glue it down. And then I give it about 5 or 10 minutes to set up, and that's just what I do. So my glue gun's nothing special. It's a Sure Bonder. I'll link it, you know, in the video or whatnot, but you can go to Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's and just kind of get whatever. I usually like doing that stuff here in town, so if I ever run out of like hot glue sticks, I'm like, shit, I'm out of hot glue sticks, I need to go get some. But I can understand, like, if you're out in the boonies or something, you order a lot of stuff off of Amazon. I get it. I totally get it. Okay, we'll give that some time to set up, and I will be quiet. One thing, too, when you're planing stuff down, you always kind of want to go with the grain. I'm not going to take my sander and sand all that out. Yeah, that's a tiny bit of dirt right there, but I don't think it's going to matter. There's some bird poop right there. But this has got like a little bit of cathedral grain kind of starting down here, and then it runs that way. I don't think we'll get too much tear out, but we're going to find out if we do or not. So one way or the other. Okay, glue has set up. I'm going to move this table out of the way and kind of get going. My quarters in here are real close, so I'll move this, and then I'll kind of put the camera on the planer. So, okay. Okay, so just for me to be safe and everything, I left myself enough room around here. This back side over here has my crosscut sled sitting on it right now. I'm just using that to shim up this hose, because this hose is like, I don't know, it doesn't like to stay on there quite right. But that goes to dust collection. I need to fix that eventually. But yeah, this is a 13-inch planer right here. Steel City makes it. To feed it, you know, I go up and down with this thing. It has, I think, 3 blades in there. We can get into all that later. We can take this thing apart eventually if you guys want to see it and everything. But right now, tonight, we're just gonna get that wood flat. So let me turn the dust collector on, and then I'm going to put my hearing protection in and jam out. Chicks are messaging me on Tinder. I don't know. It's kind of cute. What do you guys think? Okay, let's get... Okay, so what I do on these is I usually grab like another shim or a chisel or something, and I go underneath of it and I pull it up. So let me see if I can find another shim here real quick. Oh yeah, these shims and stuff too, they sell them at Menards. That's where I get mine at. See big money at Menards. Oh, come on, girl. Break free. Break free, come on. There we go. Made a little pop noise. Okay. Try probably still not the best thing. Okay, so now this one side right here is flat, okay? This side is flat. We don't need the sled anymore. You only need the sled to get one side flat. So let me get rid of the sled. Okay, let me turn these lights down so you can see a little better too. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, so if I set this side down, all the rock is gone out of it, okay? So you can see all the rock is gone, nice and flat chunk of wood. So now what we do is we can take this other side and just shove it through the planer because one side's flat already. Got it? Let me tell you about a spot on it. Yeah, right there. Okay, we're flat. Perfect. All right, so what I do is I just rip this off here like that. Take this off. You can reuse those shims sometimes. Get that out of there. Boom. Boom. Okay. So that's off. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to the planer. So let me get set back up the camera. Hold on a second. And you can kind of see right here too. See how that's more like a wedge shape? So this side right here is gonna be, that side's gonna be really, really high. And it's got some twist in the back too, but we'll get it out. Hold on. Okay guys, I'm gonna slow down part of this video as I'm planing it. And what I do is I look at the color, discoloration, you know, like you can see it in the wood. You can see like one part that's kind of dusty still. And then one part that looks like it's been machined that's clean. Like right there, the bottom right corner, then all the way through the center. And then like the left lower corner, you can tell it's not been touched by the planer yet. That's how I tell when all that's gone. That's when I know that thing's flat. So, okay. Just thought I'd throw that in there. We're going full speed. Okay, so it's just off the planer. That is pretty freaking flat. So it needs some sanding, stuff like that done to it. Nice and flat. Okay, let's get some measurements off of it now. I bet you it's still 22 inches long. Yeah. Yeah, it's still 22 inches long. Okay, let's do and see how much we had to take off of it to get it flat. Man, that might only be like an inch and an eighth now. What do we start at? That is 1 inch, 1.019. So I lost almost a half a freaking inch getting this thing flat. I took a couple extra passes on this top just because I wanted to see the sapwood, and plus this is kind of like a demonstration one. But yeah. 1.033. Can you see that flashing? And what do we got on this side? Actually, this side seems like it's a couple thousandths off. But it's wood though. It's at like 1.032. So it's not too far off. And I got a little bit tear out there on the end. But okay, we'll probably use this on a clock or something here later on. You know, you'd have to sand it, but as far as like getting your wood flat, that is flat. And that board had a hell of a twist to it, but I lost, I don't know, 0.4, like 0.4 of an inch just about. So that's a little over 3/8 of an inch. But yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I flatten wood out. And there you go. Okay. All right. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, we'll do a side-by-side comparison too. Remember how twisted this thing was? I mean, it was pretty bad. But, you know, that's probably still, you know, close to 1.5 inches, 1 3/8. And then this is just over an inch now. But she's nice and flat. And that one's like that. I just figured I'd throw this little bit in there with the moisture meter, show you guys that it's at about 6%. When you're working with this stuff, you know, you guys want to make sure it's at a good moisture level to work with the wood with epoxy. So, okay, if not, it'll just warp on you. Okay. Okay, so we got the wood flat and everything like that with the planer. In an upcoming video, I'll have the drum sander over there. I got a drum sander. I named it Dave Grohl, you know, because he's the drummer from Nirvana. But anyways, we got that thing flat. We went over measurements. We did all that. I even got my moisture gauge out, and it's at, you know, 6%. I opened it up. I'd never seen yellow walnut like that before. Something I learned, too, today. And then, you know, we compared the two back and forth. You learned how to shim it with shims, and you learn how to run it through the planer. So one more added bonus for you guys. When I get done with stuff like that and I've opened it up, since my garage isn't really moisture controlled, I like to take it and put it in a plastic bag. That's just something I do if it's something I'm going to work with. So let me go grab one. I'll just show you. So. Okay, so I just use like a plastic bag like this. I fold it up and I seal it inside there. Let me show you kind of what I do. So I just take it, you know, and just shove it in the bag. And then if it's small enough, I just fold the bag back over itself. Kind of like that, and like that. And I always try to put it like with whatever way, you know, just seal the bag the best. That way down. And try not to have any holes in your bag. So, okay, and so there's that. This is one that I bagged up a long time ago. I don't know, a month or two ago. It's a fractal burn one that I did. This is epoxy and stuff. So this is one that I burned it a while back, but bagged that one up and she is still nice and flat. So I don't know what I'm gonna do on this one. That thing right there, she's more, I don't know. It's not too thick. I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it, but it's still pretty cool. I need to get some finishing stuff on it, but yeah, you bag stuff up, it'll stay nice and flat because, you know, moisture can't get in and out. But okay, all right, well, if you guys learned something today, if I taught you guys something, go ahead and please subscribe. I'd really like that. That helps this channel out. If you want to see a lot of resin and woodworking projects, stay tuned. I've got a bunch in the pipeline coming down. We'll do some new builds. I'll go over some old builds that I did. We got a lot of stuff coming. So, okay, well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. I know it's been a long time since I made the video, but I really do appreciate it, and I'll cue some other videos up here for you. Let's do some resin and woodworking and have some fun. All right, everybody take care and be good. Bye-bye, everybody.